In today's video we are going to showcase how to create an activity report. Our activity report is definitely the most used report in our system, and for a great reason. It is easy to create, comfortable to read, and most importantly it provides an opportunity to really deep dive into your key data with adding layers. Let's get into it. First, we need to navigate to our activity reports. For that, make sure to click on Reports. From there, go ahead and click on Activity Reports. Once you land onto the Activity Report preview page, go ahead and proceed to create Activity Report. For this Activity Report example, we are going to focus on analyzing the purchase behavior and how the paid traffic attributed to the purchase. To create a report, the highlighted block as shown on the screen is the main thing you need to concentrate on to start. The first and most important thing we need to do is to add a conversion event. For that, go ahead and click on either the highlighted row or directly onto the Add an Event mark. From there, click on the drop-down to select the event. Since we are analyzing the purchase behavior, we are going to select the completed purchase event as our key conversion for our activity report. Once the conversion event is set, you would want to adjust the time period you want to check the data for. For that, you'd have to click on the Date Range drop-down. As with most of our reports, last 7 days date range is going to show up by default. But, you can definitely adjust the date range according to your needs by using our date picker. For this activity report example, we will stick with the last 7 days. To leave the same range, just click out of the date picker. Once these two steps are completed, it means that the base setup is done. It is that simple. So let's go ahead and run report. Once the report loads, here is how the data is going to be displayed on the main graph. On the graph, we can see how many people made a purchase in the last 7 days. How many purchases these people made. And how many times on average they made a purchase. If the general stats are not enough, you can hover over the graph to check the individual stats for a set day as shown in this example. The graph tends to focus on people by default. But, you can tweak that view under this drop-down. You can switch the setting to focus on times or times per person. Let's switch the view to times and check the results. As you can see, the ratio definitely changes to be higher when looking at the number of purchases made. Another thing we can adjust on the graph is the frequency of the results. For the smaller date ranges that vary from 1 day, last 7 days, to maximum last 30 days, the graph will always pull the daily stats by default. But you can switch that view to weekly, monthly, yearly, if you like so. A very important piece that we can add to analyze our report results lays in this bottom section. Here, on top of checking the data in the table view, we can add layers to our results by using properties. Let's go ahead and check which channels brought the purchases. For that, click onto the Select Property drop-down. Once that is done, you will have two options, either to select the property under the Event tab that marks the properties that come with the completed purchase event, or to switch to the All tab. Since the goal is to find the channels, we need to switch to the All tab. Let's do that. Under the All tab, we are going to type channel to quickly find the property. From there, select the channel property. Here is the view we are going to get. Now, the main stats will be also segmented by individual channels. But, that is not all. Since our goal is to understand how specifically paid channel attributed to the purchase, on top of checking the general stats, you can hover over the paid channel row and click onto the arrow next to it. This will add an extra layer that allows to select another property for your segmentation. For that, click on the second drop-down. Let's learn more about the paid channel by finding its origin. For that, we need to type origin under the properties search. And select the origin property. Here is our end result. On top of the paid channel data, we now can see the specific campaign names that attributed to the purchase. Also, we can scroll up and check the new line graphs that focus on the top performing campaigns for the purchase. With all the data that we have seen, we can make it even more knowledgeable. For any company, gaining revenue is one of the most important things. Let's see how we can add numeric data to analyze the potential revenue that came from purchasing via the paid campaigns. For that, we need to scroll up to our base section where we added the conversion event. From there, we need to click on the row to expand the condition setting, and then click on the arrow button right next to it. This setting allows us to add a property that comes with a selected conversion event. In this case, the property that comes with a completed purchase. So, we are going to click on the drop-down. And we are going to select the billing amount property since we are sure that this property captures our total amount value for each purchase. Once that is done, we are going to leave the setting to account for any value that comes with the property. And we can go ahead and rerun the report to acknowledge the new changes in the result. Once we scroll down to our table view, you may notice 2 additional columns popping up showing the total revenue and average revenue information that came from purchasing from these individual campaigns. Powerful, don't you think? You will be able to play with these new columns on the graph as well. With having all these results, we can also change the attribution level to gain more insight. For that, we have this gear icon next to the property dropdown that lets you switch the attribution option. In the activity report, the segmentation by default focuses on the last touch trigger, in other words, the property value that was recorded right before, or at the time of the purchase. But you also have an option to check the first ever touch, the current touch, or any touch within the range of the report. And remember, this all happens while showing you the revenue value in one single view. If the previous settings haven't proved how powerful this report is, this one definitely should have. Once you check the data, make sure to name your report. And click Save, so you can grab the link and share this report with your team. We hope you liked this case-based tutorial. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to send us a message via help@kissmetrics.io. Thanks for watching.